Movies have the power to reflect our own experiences back at us, as well as introduce us to communities, cultures, and concepts different from our own. Well, that's the mission of the Boston Asian American Film Festival, which just wrapped up its 15th year. Now featuring over a dozen films, documentaries, and short stories, the nationally recognized event highlights many Asian American filmmakers and their stories in Greater Boston and, of course, beyond. For more information on the festival and how you can celebrate Asian American films all year round, I'm joined by the festival's director and creative producer at Arts Emerson, Susan Chinson. Susan, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much for having me.
So 15 years, it must been a labor of love.
It really has been a passion project of mine, yes.
So talk to me about the process in terms of getting folks to enter, like the judging process. What does that usually look like?
Yeah, I actually take a little bit of pride in that we don't typically do it the way many other festivals do. Our programming screening committee is actually made of what I would consider community people. They're not necessarily particularly film critics or advocates or, students of, film studies. They're really people from the community who are actually watching these films and, rating them, judging them as sort of how they actually connect to them.
Do you find that each year there ends up being sort of a unifying theme or a theme that jumps out, or is it really just all over the place because it's different experiences?
I mean, in the past, we'd like to think that we've come up with a theme, and we've had themes over the past years, and we still continue to use one. I think one that we have always leaned towards is Rising Together, and that certainly has been one that has come up again this year. But in particular, I think the vast diversity of the stories that actually come in through us, it's very hard to pinpoint, necessarily just one. We did have one theme probably more about surrounding elders this year than we typically do, so that was actually kind of nice too.
What were some of the standout films that were submitted?
Oh, goodness. I feel like I can't really pick too many, but I do have to say I think within our documentary films, there were two in particular that really stood out. One called Nurse Unseen, talking about Filipino nurses and sort of where that history came from and why, sort of what their experience during COVID had been. And another sort of a biographical one on a photographer named Corky Lee out of New York, who is sort of I'm trying to think of the exact name, but like the photographer laureate, undisputed of Asian American, Asian America, essentially. It's just, he was a photographer that was captured film experiences from, Vincent Chin to community celebrations all across, the diversity of Asian Americans, but had passed away during COVID.
Yeah, so when we're talking about representation in the film industry, we know that minorities, struggle to have the same sort of success as other groups. So this is really an opportunity to tell stories, create a platform for telling Asian American stories.
Yes, I think within Boston, I grew up here in the Greater Boston area, and, in that time period, there was lots of places that would feature Asian cinema or stories about Asia, and it was very difficult to actually find stories that actually felt like I could connect to. And that had been a big, mission of mine in terms of wanting to have more space for that here in Boston. So hence the film festival was created. We've been able to really do that in terms of uplifting different neighborhoods and community organizations that we continue to partner with to actually feature these stories. So that's been a huge, direction of us really wanting to move towards.
Yeah. And you brought us some special, materials here talking about, movies by and also involving Asian American folks.
Yes. So a big part, this year, with it being our 15th anniversary, we actually had two sort of big bookend events for ourselves. Our opening night event, I'll actually just share, was with Jeff Yang, who is a sort of observer, commentator, expert on sort of Asian American culture across America. And he actually just is publishing a book. It's actually coming out officially tomorrow, October 24th. Tomorrow, October 24th, called The Golden Screen. And we actually were privileged to have him and filmmaker Renee Tajima Pena here with us. She was the series producer for Asian Americans, which aired here on PBS locally. But he is publishing this book. If I can show you,
of course.
This is the book. And
beautiful artwork.
It is amazing. For those of audiences who may have seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's sort of thematically based on that. But there's a lot of different elements within the art that talks about, references what's inside of the book itself. I'll just note that this is a book that could not have come out 15 years earlier. This really, I felt, symbolized a lot of the work that the film festival itself has done. Many of the films that we have actually shown historically are included in this book. It's an anthology.
That's incredible.
Of all sort of, a variety of films that sort of have really, it's called The Golden Screen, the movies that made Asian America. And for me, I feel like that really represents a lot of, for myself, how I connected, I think, for a lot of the volunteers and staff that work on the film festival have been able to find home here in Boston. I think Boston actually, I feel like is a difficult city necessarily to find your people in your community. I know that a lot of the volunteers, a lot of our audience members continuously come every year because of the community that they find. Being able to come together, I know it was very difficult during COVID. We found a way to get through it through virtual programming, but kind of on this side of COVID, we're all really happy to still have that with us today. So. Yeah, I could continue going on about
No,
this.
I love it. And, I think also, it also breaks the stereotypes, because as you mentioned, when you think of Asian American cinema, I mean, let's be honest, we think of kung fu movies and that kind of thing. But that doesn't reflect the rich culture and the diaspora of Asians and in the world, but also in the United States.
No, certainly. And I think there's also, the stereotype of model minorities and sort of what a lived experience of a person who looks like myself, the question of where do you come from, is something that many people who look like myself are often faced with. And I think these films are ones in which people from who have that represent a variety of the lived experiences are able to actually share. I think similar to Nurse Unseen, I feel like coming out of COVID, that really just touched so many people in the audience, myself included, about thinking how has American history intersected with other countries overseas that have actually really impacted large swaths of people and even the healthcare system that we are all benefiting from here. And they're not talked about, it's not discussed, it's not a visible group of people. And in many ways, this is something that is it's long overdue for them to have a spotlight, to be able to hear from them and hear their stories about why it is this way.
And there's so many creatives also involved in the festival. There are folks who are doing artwork. There are folks who are organizing different pieces of that as well. Yeah,
I thank you for that question. Yeah. I actually wanted to share a little bit too. We actually invited a local artist, Bren Bataclan, to join us this year to feature his artwork. He is a queer Filipino artist who often works in the school systems, but he was generous enough to work with us and create a piece of artwork that really represents, I think, sort of the joy that we're all looking for and the opportunity of how we gather to really represent sort of our 15th anniversary of being together. And so I just wanted to share a piece of work that he had designed for us.
I love that.
Yeah.
And if folks who weren't able to make it out to the film festival, can they still, get a link or stream some of the films?
Well, unfortunately, we've actually wrapped as of yesterday, but I think if folks want to actually go out and pick up a copy of The Golden Screen, it's actually a wonderful way. I feel like you could actually go through the book itself and go through various streaming services that people have access to and figuring out which ones to go to. I would recommend any of the films in this book, and especially with the commentary that is included. There's beautiful artwork and messages from filmmakers, including John Chu and Daniel Kwan, also locally, from Emerson College. We have, I would highly recommend people picking up the book to kind of find stuff until we come back in the spring.
There you go. All right. We'll be waiting for that. All right. Susan Chenson, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Crystal.